This case is one of the worst intoxication manslaughters. It's on video where he plows into Mr. Addison, who's at a stoplight on a motorcycle, and while trying to get away, runs over him and the motorcycle again. I think the best we can do at this point is this man spent 50 years in prison where he cannot hurt anybody else due to his own selfish decisions.
And the fact that you are truly saying that you think you touched something and got PCP when you have had PCP cases over and over and over again, and you're on parole and you kill someone. It's a nightmare. Good morning. Are you Christopher James?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. James was previously in court, entered a plea of guilty to the first-degree felony offense of intoxication manslaughter with a vehicle. I've received the pre-sentence report and also a supplemental memorandum from probation that includes several letters from the victim's family members. Has everyone had an opportunity to review all of that?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
Are there any additions or corrections to that pre-sentence report?
No, Your Honor, I just want to make the court aware Mrs. Addison, the deceased's wife, would have been here today to do victim impact. She had to go to the hospital yesterday. She's able to tune in, I believe, and watch us. The rest of Mr. Addison's family is here, and his mother is going to want to do victim impact at the end of sentencing.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nichols. Any witnesses with regard to sentencing?
No additional witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lewis, you may make argument.
Okay. Judge, of course, this was a very tragic situation that has affected a lot of people. Of course, the decedent, Mr. Addison, his family, as well as Mr. James and his family. It was a situation where, this was a combination of a long substance abuse history of Mr. James. The assessment that's provided in the PSI here says that there was about a 20-year relationship between Mr. James and different substances over a period of time. The one thing I can say is that once Mr. James went through this situation with this accident, he has been doing everything he can to try to better himself. He has got his high school diploma. He's was baptized and has definitely changed his ways and going to his faith and continuing in that regard. He's also got some different certifications that he was able to receive dealing with OSHA. I think it was Men's University, things of that nature to try to better himself, Judge. Now, it's no secret he does have a long criminal history. That even included dealing with PCP, which is the same substance that was involved in this accident. And as well as, other serious offenses. I do want to address something as far as I know there's some situations here dealing with the jail instances, and I know how the court proceeds or looks at the situation here dealing with those. Mr. James, if you look at these situations, majority of them did come from situations involving him and other inmates, as far as any type of fight or anything like that, which unfortunately some things he can't avoid. But as far as anything dealing with being disrespectful or anything towards jail employees or things of that nature, there's one situation I think that they were talking about that it wasn't an actual write-up, but it was notated. He has been a trustee over there for a period of time at the jail as well. Now, I do want to point out that, of course, some of those situations that Mr. James was able to do to better himself, of course, could definitely increase his earning potential as far as what he has as far as his job situation. He does have significant family support. His brother is here today in the courtroom, who in any way is there to try to help him, including helping secure employment. My understanding is the plan Once he is able to be released, it's for him to be moved to Houston, Harris County area, to be close to his brother, to help him with everything over there. Now PSI did have a recommendation for his different vehicles that support that's available to him through the probation department. What I will say is that everything that has been recommended, he definitely needs and will be better for him. We are not, and ourselves are not asking for a specific number or anything like that. We just want him to be able to, of course, make amends for this situation as much as possible, which could include some of the restitution there. I think the amount is over $100,000 for his restitution there to the family. Now, like I said, he has made a plan to try to better himself. He has a family that supports him. He is doing everything he can. He understands that this was a tragic accident, but one he was definitely responsible for. And what we're asking for is as much leniency as possible from the court, for him to be able to move forward with the situation, be able to make amends as much as possible. And I think he did provide a letter to the court as well to kind of speak to that as far as an apology letter that was to the family, his family, the family of the victim, as well as to the court, Judge.
And I've received that.
And so that's what we're asking for today, Judge, is for everything to be considered. We understand this is, you can't bring that person back. He can't just go back to make amends with Mr. Addison, but he wants to try to make as much of amends he can to society and do better going forward, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Mr. Nichols.
Your Honor, I think any consideration to Mr. James's due was given when he got a 50-year cap. I have no hesitation asking the court to exercise the full 50 years. This case is one of the worst intoxication manslaughters. It's on video where he plows into Mr. Addison, who's at a stoplight on a motorcycle, and while trying to get away, runs over him and the motorcycle again. It's horrific, Your Honor. What is also just inconceivable to me is that a man who's on parole for several possessions of phencyclidine, PCP, finds himself behind the wheel on PCP again. And this time it ends in the death of somebody. His criminal history is extensive. It starts with minor drug offenses, then a conviction for aggravated robbery, and then I believe it's 5 drug convictions all at the same time in 2020, for which he was quickly paroled out and on parole when this happened. The fact that he gets to make plans in his mind for a day he's set free, I find rather offensive, and I think the Addison family finds offensive. They lost a son, a brother, a husband. There's nothing we can do in this courtroom makes that better. And sometimes the justice system is a poor substitute for what people lost. I think the best we can do at this point is this man spend 50 years in prison where he cannot hurt anybody else due to his own selfish decisions, and continued use of substances. It's in the pre-sentence report. He minimizes his own addiction, his own dependency. He even claimed he did not know how he could have gotten PCP in his system the day this happened, that maybe he touched a bottle and it transferred through his skin. And I find that reprehensible, Your Honor. And that's why I'm asking the court for that full 50 years.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. James, a couple of things that Mr. Nichols didn't say that I think are also extremely important is this isn't your first driving while intoxicated. This is your third. And so you didn't learn in 06. You didn't learn in 2017. 2017, you got your second DWI. You were given probation. It was revoked. I appreciate that you entered a plea of guilty because for myself and for the family, I'm glad we didn't have to see what it looks like this would look like on a video, because it is just horrible. And the fact that you are truly saying that you think you touched something and got PCP when you have had PCP cases over and over and over again, and you're on parole for possession of a controlled substance and you kill someone. It's a nightmare. Sure, go ahead.
Can I say something? You know, that night that accident happened, I've been clean the entire time I was on parole. Okay, I stopped off at a friend's house to give him some advice about what he was doing. And during that time, I did contact a bottle of his. You know, I was not high at that time at all.
It was in your system.
Yes, ma'am. If you know how I fight.
At this time, based on your history, based on the nature of this offense, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of intoxication manslaughter. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 50 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Correction. There will be a deadly weapon finding based on the indictment alleges a deadly weapon. You will receive credit on the sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm going to hand you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement and I followed it, and so you've waived your right to appeal. I have also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read the written admonishment I provided you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk with Mr. Lewis. There's really so many other things I could say about how horrible this is, and rarely am I out of words, but I really don't have the words to say what a tragic circumstances based on your behavior this led to. Y'all can have a seat at council table for the victim impact statement, and we'll go off the record.